Austria-Hungary and Germany are allied, but Serbia is protected by Russia, which is allied with France. So they declared war on each other, and Montenegro went to war too. The British and the French were kind of in an alliance, and so when France said, "You've got my back, right?" Britain was like, "Probably." And they ended up somehow changing their minds about getting involved. Which was great for Germany, because she has a plan. They realized that Russia was so huge and doddering that it would take her a long time to mobilize. And led by this guy, Germany storms France while Russia is just mobilizing. Defeats France, moves all the troops into Russia, takes it over, and after that we all speak German and eat Pfefferpothast every day. But there's a problem. France had a lot of fortifications and defenses on its border with Germany. And Germany couldn't afford to spend so much time capturing them, so it decides to go around through Belgium. Belgium remained neutral, but Germany wanted to let 750,000 troops through its territory to bypass the French fortifications. They hoped that Belgium would just settle down and shut up, but the Belgians didn't think so. But worst of all for them was the intervention of Britain, unhappy with the fact that Germany was invading neutral countries. So Britain declared war on her, and Germany started advancing into Belgium, committing a couple of atrocities along the way. They also had spikes, sometimes even skulls on their uniforms. If they were trying to look like the good guys, well done. The Entente began a massive propaganda campaign that influenced the whole world, but especially America. The US President, Woodrow Wilson, thought he was a bit of a Jesus and throughout the conflict tried to bring the two sides closer together. But there were also a lot of ethnic Germans living in the States, and when the war started, they were saying, "EI, Germany!" But after the invasion of Belgium, their enthusiasm waned. Now let's play Find the French Soldier. Did you find him? Easy, isn't it? He wears a blue uniform with red pants. You know who else found them easily? The Germans. And while the French slowly marched in columns, the Germans covered them with a barrage of artillery fire. All countries entered this war with the old military mentality. They had to urgently update their uniforms and tactics during the war. For this war was something that man had never seen before. Russia was ready to go to war, and much sooner than expected. Hey, Austria-Hungary, can you do it? No problem at all. Nope. And Germany had to send some more troops to the Eastern Front. The commander of the Austro-Hungarian army was this guy. And although he had pompous hair, he wasn't the best military strategist. Austria-Hungary was forever ignoring orders and advice from Germany, and forever asking for help when they got into trouble. Seriously, they got a kicking even from little Serbia. Things were better in the north, where they almost wiped out the Russian Second Army. Back to the Western Front. The Germans are still on the offensive, and almost inside Paris. By this point everyone remembered that Germany wanted a quick takeover after all. But things have gone south. The French commander knew something had to be done, and ordered the army to stop retreating. The battle had created a gap between the Germans. If the gap widened, the Allies, sneaking in, could attack from the flank. Therefore, the German troops retreated. The Entente launched a counterattack, so the Germans had to entrench themselves. The Entente did the same. Then both sides began to advance northward, trying to outflank each other until they reached the sea. Eventually a line of trenches was formed, running from the Belgian coast to Switzerland. On the Western Front, positional warfare began. Here's how positional warfare works. There are two opposing sides sitting in trenches with no man's land in the middle. One side fires artillery at the other, and sometimes this goes on for days. This took a huge psychological toll, leaving many concussed. Soldiers would leave their ramshackles, traversing a no-man's land full of mud, shells, holes and barbed wire. The defending side opened machine gun fire on the attackers. The attackers sent wave after wave of soldiers until the opposing side was exhausted or left the Tarantia. The fighting went on for months, hundreds of thousands of people were killed, and the line only advanced a couple of kilometers. Life in the trenches was unbearable. Corpses, lots of dirt, poisoned water, rats, odors, disease. It's crazy that millions of soldiers had to live in such conditions and follow orders from commanders for years. That was part 3 of the history of World War I. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, check out the other history videos, there will be hints on them somewhere in here. And wait for the next video, part 4 will be out hopefully very soon. Thanks for watching, bye bye.